Hi, this is Kevin Cook. Thank you for coming back to Heavy Construction Equipment Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about the construction and manufacturing units and factories. And again, this episode has been sponsored by me. Are you looking for good, used, quality equipment? Then come to my website at www.heavyequipmentguy.com. All right, here we go on the podcast. When we talk about construction, it is not necessary be of huge buildings or condominiums. The word itself is quite elaborate. When we are in the construction business, you deal with building something or anything and everything everywhere you look. Although you take time to learn the industry and the different ways by which you can acquire projects, you also take time to understand how to complete a project within a specific time period or time frame. Well, you learn these things from experience and when you get it done, when you get the deal done with them. Construction companies make enormous profits when they get into a project that pertaining to the building, manufacturing units, and factories. When you're in the construction, manufacturing units, or factories, you are catering to a particular gender of client. Therefore, you got to pay special attention to their demands. Their demands are quite specific, and you got to channelize your resources based on their specific demands. Number one, understand what kind of factory you have to construct, see what they want, While constructing a factory, you need to understand that the requirements are quite different for every factory. So, for instance, if you load of experience in construction framing, or construction factory, or manufacturing units, you can't just be sure that you know what the current client needs from you. You may definitely have the edge over others if you're experienced in construction manufacturing units, but it is advisable that you sit along with the client and try to understand their needs. Always talk, communicate, so you don't have to mess it up later or pay for something that you did that wasn't necessary. Check out the kind of setup that they want, and on the basis that you can frame the design. Next, show the progress at regular intervals. It is impressive that you keep updating your client on the progress of the work. Remember, while constructing manufacturing units, you have very less scope to alter things once they have been built. You should ask the client to visit the site on a monthly basis and check the progress of the work on their own. You should try to stick to the design so that if there requires any alteration in the actual building, you do not have to do it out of your pocket. Your client should ideally pay for it. However, it is not mandatory for the client to pay for any authorization or any alternatives, it's something that they didn't ask for, it's not their mistake. If it is a mild one where it will not affect the costing of the company massively, you can author the item without charging extra. This eventually makes your customer very, very happy. And last, use top-notch equipment. Always use the best of heavy equipment if you can. You can always have an option when it comes to using equipment on a project. I always prefer to use the top-notch equipment. It will ease the progress or process of work and will always take comparatively lesser time. With the top-notch equipment, one should imply using brand new machines and accessories. It is simple to apply using mechanisms that are scientifically proven to be an easy tool to work. Construction and manufacturing units and factories give enough scope to the construction companies to earn a good sum of money. However, the construction companies should be ready to take such projects and complete them on time. Make sure you're doing what the client wants. This is the basic concept of this article. If you got any questions, give me a jingle, 817-733-3799. Thank you, and God bless.